Welcome to the Drill Down Earnings at the latest results from Snowflake. What a quarter. Look up at the business story behind one stock on the move. I'm Cory Johnson, Futurum Group's chief market strategist. Snowflake, really interesting company in a world surrounded by accumulating piles of data. Snowflake helps companies deal with it. They reported fiscal third quarter earnings and we're going to call them okay. Well, who am I kidding? The revenue growth is fantastic, but all Wall Street cares about is a beat or a miss. And yeah, this is barely a beat on the revenue side. Guidance was just not what Wall Street liked. But let's look at the numbers behind the business, the stock on the move so much. $774.7 million in revenues. That's up 31.5% from the previous year. But maybe not enough for Wall Street going forward. Profits, well, there were no profits. The company lost $169 million, but that's better than a year ago, a lower loss, if you will. But that 32% growth rate is showing signs of steady slowing for this company. I think the big surprise, though, was the CEO, Frank Slootman. Frank Slootman took this company public, well liked on Wall Street. He'd been around in this world software business for a long time. He took the company public, as I mentioned, about 5 years ago. Well, he's out as CEO, moving on to be chairman of the board. An internal candidate, Sridhar Ramaswamy, taking over. He'd been the VP of AI at Snowflake. Really impressive career for this guy. He was at Google Ads for a long time. Took that business from a $1.5 billion to $100 billion business. Pretty good results there. Also a venture partner at Greylock Partners, one of the esteemed venture capital firms here in Silicon Valley. So an impressive guy. Also was at Bell Labs, Lucent in a research position. Let's talk about Snowflake and why this all matters for Snowflake. If you think about what's happened to data, it used to be data on-premise and data on the cloud, then a public cloud where customers could access to data, and now it's this hodgepodge of data everywhere on the apps and even programmable data that lives alive. It's so hot, adding so many customers. So why the guidance kind of weak? You wouldn't expect that. Look at the stock chart after they announced the weak guidance. Absolutely plummeting from a business that had been doing really well and a stock that had been doing really well, giving up all the gains certainly of this year and maybe beyond. But when they talked about their bookings, their remaining performance obligations, RPOs were way up. That suggests business is going to be good. So why is the revenue guidance so bad? Well, here is this CFO, Mark Scarpelli, talking about what went on in the quarter and how things with the RPOs might not suggest a great near-term future for Snowflake.
We signed a lot of large multi-year deals in Q4. I mentioned the one that was a 5-year, $250 million deal. And so when customers, what that really shows is the commitment customers are making to Snowflake. And from a customer's perspective, as long as they use those credits up within their contract period, they're fine. There is a lot of pent-up demand for a lot of our new products that are coming out. We have a lot of customers that want Cortex and Snowpark container services. So I think it's going to be more back-end loaded this year. And until we see that consumption by our customers, it's hard to forecast that. So stay tuned.
So stay tuned. That sounds to me to be a little more optimistic than things are bad because those RPO numbers are so good. But what's it all mean? What's your drill down earnings takeaway and what's your drill down earnings bite? One number that tells us a whole lot. We'll have all that right after this.
The Drill Down is brought to you by Futurum Group, where analysts, researchers, advisors, content creators, and marketing experts help business leaders anticipate and understand shifts in their industries and build strategies to leverage disruptive innovation. With deep analysis, Futurum Group's extensive industry experience delivers reliable research and data, thought leadership, and actionable advice to help you with your strategy and go-to-market efforts. Futurum Group.
Here's your drill down earnings takeaway, the latest results from Snowflake. The numbers are pretty good, 32% growth to $775 million in revenues. Losses almost cut in half to $170 million, but the guidance was weak in spite of strong bookings numbers. So bookings are future revenues. Those numbers were strong, but the revenue guidance was weak. Curious quarter from this company. We'll see how it plays out because the data cloud is hot. That brings us to the drill down bite, the one number that tells us a whole lot. Here's your number, 8%. They saw 8% growth of the Forbes Global 2000 coming to the company. So 691 customers of the Forbes 2000. That's a lot. They've got this really cool graphic on data cloud growth, what it looked like in April 2020 compared to what it looks like for the Snowflake cloud in October 2023. A lot of activity, an exciting company. We'll keep an eye on this one. Thanks for listening to Drill Down Earnings. I'm Cory Johnson. Check me out on X at Cory TV. Drill Down Earnings, part of the 6-5 Media Group.